Virgos, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for June 20th through the 26th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Virgo, a lot going on this week for you guys because your ruler Mercury is forming up some important aspects, and this is seen by the fact that Mercury is going over this Grand Cross part of the chart. So the location where we had the last new moon. So if you recall, that was the Grand Cross. That was the time for us, and still is the time for us to challenge ourselves. So now with your ruler going over here, this is particularly the case. And I think a good area for you to challenge yourself, generally speaking, is with what's possible in life. All right, all this energy is in your 9th house, and your ruler's here. So it's about tapping into your adventurous spirit. It's about seeing that you can actualize and you can build, but through patience, these bigger things in your life. You know, your purpose, basically, your mission, and really opening your mind to what is possible in that grounded way, of course. And I think that's going to be particularly important on Monday because Mercury will be opposing up to Saturn, who's in your 3rd house of the mind. And so it's been for about the past year, this more denser energy with the mind, but hopefully helping you guys get realistic with the mind in terms of everything that you might be thinking about, but not overly realistic where it becomes too dense. And that's the opposition, is we don't want to go to just the extreme of Saturn in the 3rd to where it's so realistic it's pessimistic or dense. And at the same time, we don't want to just go into all the possibilities and theories and grandiose things without having that balance, without having those responsibilities and that responsible mind. And that's what this opposition's all about, is about merging the practical 3rd house, realistic, with the possible. We do have to open our minds, but at the same time be grounded in reality. So it's that kind of a thing, and it could manifest in terms for some of you, maybe university studies, some of you learning things, could be correspondence. However it actually manifests, I think just having this balance of the, what you might call right side of the brain, which is the creative possible, with the left side of the brain, which is the practical, energy on the other side. So through that balance, it's great. And I think, again, it's great for you guys to constructively build in this grounded and slow way this future life path and anything else that you guys are tapping into. And again, it's all about cultivating a healthy amount of this adventurous spirit. Now, if there is uncertainty about this, which is the square up to Neptune, this might have to do with the work and stuff, which we'll talk about, but letting go, detaching is so important, especially for you guys because it's your ruler this week, forming that square up to Neptune on Monday. So detaching, letting go, everything that's not in your immediate sphere of influence, and perhaps working on some of that spiritual development of presence and meditation and yoga and things like that, I think can be great on Monday. Then as we go into Wednesday, we form the square up to Jupiter in the North Node. And so with this one, this is a bit more about the worldview and over-optimism or under-optimism sometimes with this. So if you're feeling either of those extremes with Jupiter, it's good to, again, have that awareness and to keep it nice and balanced, remembering that there are opportunities, and really what the opportunities really are for you is to have more peace in your life, to have some real happiness, because the 12th house is about, at the end of the day, it's about true happiness, not the fleeting kind, but the kind that arises spiritually through once we have peace in our life, once we let go, we have the detachment. And that's where there's so much positive energy for you, because you got Jupiter and the North Node, who are going to be very close to each other this week, by the way. And Pluto is going to be trining up to it. So it's just so great to get involved in all this, spiritual activity, or again, just getting some alone time or meditative time or whatever it is, more peace in your life. All right, but balance with that on Wednesday without taking that, of course, to an extreme where we're just, we don't want to just isolate ourselves, for example. But whatever that balance is, I think it's, again, great to actualize and build, concretize this spiritual peace in your life. So that's going to be the strongest aspects with Mercury. And then as the week unfolds, you'll probably feel that easing up a bit in terms of the Grand Cross, but still such a great week to challenge yourself with those key areas. And the key areas, again, for you is going to be your spirituality, is going to be your mind, and it's going to be your work. And it's all regarding this new shift and this new awareness about what is possible for you in life and tapping into that free-spirited energy. All right, so that's your ruler. Now, in terms of relationships this week, we do have Jupiter. Again, getting close to the North Node, so you guys are learning a lot about relationships. Jupiter rules your 7th house. Jupiter's trining up to Pluto this week. That's going to go exact on Sunday. So as the week unfolds, but all week long, there's a lot of this positive support to maybe make some changes with relationships. Maybe so that there is more peace and tranquility there in some sense. And that can be very powerful. So again, it all starts with self. It's all about maybe about letting go of some old psychological limitations, belief systems, fears, traumas, all the stuff that is very easy right now for you to explore, to dive deep with, and to let go. But it's not pushing away, it's accepting them, but it's through that acceptance they naturally flow, and they're no longer those blockages. So that's the relationship stuff. A lot to learn, a lot of powerful changes. Could be something shifting over the weekend there for some of you regarding relationships. Now, involving work, this is the area of Neptune. So again, there might be uncertainty about this. And this is so you guys can, what Neptune's showing you, so to speak, is for you guys to connect more in that present moment. And this goes back to what we were talking about, that bringing that spirituality into the everyday experiences. All right, but the detachment, I think, will be particularly important here regarding the everyday experiences, presence in the everyday experiences, and focusing on that spiritual development could help balance that out. Now, in terms of the big picture work stuff, the Sun and Venus are actually shifting into your 10th house. So in a couple of weeks, you are going to have some new beginnings with your career starting to unfold, and you might be feeling that this week. So it's actually good for you guys to be putting energy into your long-term goals, your plans. You could be enjoying that. Maybe some of you connecting with those relationships through your work. But whatever it is, focusing on those big picture things can be a great source of energy for you, and again can help set the stage for these new beginnings there around the corner. All right, regarding the finances, we do have Mars still retrograde in that 2nd house, so you guys are likely rethinking a lot of the financial stuff. It's good for you to continue, as it has been, to redo this area in some sense, restructure it and bring extra attention to it, and really ask yourself what really motivates you in life that you value. All right, what are your real values? And you guys are rethinking all this, and maybe rethinking how you can tap into that self-worth, those natural gifts, those natural abilities, and even that self-reliance as well. Now, Mars is going to go direct next week, so there will be that shift next week regarding a lot of these things. But this week, still good to reflect on those motivations of your values. All right, so that takes us to the overview. In terms of the things we didn't cover, there is going to be a full moon right on Monday. And this is going to be in your 4th house of home, family, and health. So when it comes to home and health, Monday, there's a lot of awareness. There's also a high point for those of you who've been involved with anything specific in this area over the past 6 months regarding either location or health or any of that, these foundations in your life, family things. So through this awareness, you guys are seeing that some things are working, some things are not with the foundation. So letting go of what's not, and then putting energy into what is a great way to work with this. And again, there's a lot of energy to continue to cultivate and put forward with your 4th house matters. All right, so I think we pretty much covered it. Yep, we talked about that Sun shifting into your 10th. It's definitely that shift into the bigger picture stuff. Your ruler Mercury, Grand Cross, patience, working on all this development here with those key areas. And Jupiter trining up to Pluto. So good to get involved in that spiritual side of life. That present moment, whatever it is, meditation, whatever it is that helps you connect to that peace and tranquility. All right, so Virgos, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.